Hello everybody, welcome to this episode of Low Carb in the Leaves with me, Dr. Mary Barson. This week I'm talking about cardiovascular risk factors, and we had a fabulous podcast episode published yesterday on our podcast Real Health and Weight Loss, where Lucy and I dived into cholesterol. It has to be one of the most common questions we get on our website, that we get in our clinics, in our coaching practices. People are worried that when we tell them to eat real food that contains cholesterol, and also worried about, their cholesterol has come up. An incredibly common consultation in my GP practice might be someone who's gone low carb and their LDL cholesterol might have gone up from 2.8 to 4.5. Their doctor wants to put them on a statin. They don't want to go on a statin, so they've sought out a low-carb doctor like me and have come to see me about not starting on a statin. And this is actually a pretty complex conversation that needs to be highly individualised. There is no simple answer. It's not a case of statins are useless, don't worry about it, don't even measure your cholesterol. And it's not a case of cholesterol has to be as low as possible. Everybody should be in a statin. In fact, let's put statins in the drinking water. The truth is definitely in the middle. So we dive into that in our podcast episode in a lot more detail. So do check that out. High blood pressure. High blood pressure is actually the most important risk factor for cardiovascular disease and indeed early death. Out of any of them, it's more important than cholesterol from a statistical point of view. Hello everybody. So knowing your blood pressure is incredibly important, and anything above 140 on 90 is hypertension, high blood pressure. There's gradations. There's mild high blood pressure, moderate high blood pressure, and severe high blood pressure. And you want it to be normal. High blood pressure is almost non-existent in hunter-gatherer societies that exist around the globe today. They just don't have it, like extremely small amounts, less than 1%, whereas the vast majority of adults in more westernized countries like Australia have high blood pressure. And it is lifestyle related. It's genetics as well as lifestyle. Hypertension, like all kinds of chronic diseases, most kinds of chronic diseases, not all, results because of a mismatch between our genetics and our environment. So there's something in our environment now that is out of step with how we evolved to live our lives, and it results in this imbalance, which can manifest in all kinds of ways, one of which is hypertension. So it's important to get your blood pressure checked. It's important to be on medications if you need to be on medications, but lifestyle factors are exceedingly important and can be often overlooked. So lifestyle factors that can really help with your blood pressure, particularly, is reducing sugar, especially sugar-added beverages like soft drink and soda, depending on which part of the world you're on. They are associated with significant increases in blood pressure. So reducing your refined sugar is one of the most important things you can do to reduce your blood pressure. Eating a whole food diet that's naturally rich in minerals like potassium and magnesium. Eating more potassium and magnesium is also shown to decrease blood pressure. And it's, eating a whole food diet is really going to help you out. Reducing processed foods. Salt is an interesting one. So sodium is what I'm talking about here when I talk about salt. We've all been told that we need to restrict our salt in order to reduce our blood pressure. It actually seems like a real minority of people have got salt response.